Well, welcome to another video. We're getting ready here, getting prepped to hit the road here hopefully in the next 24 hours. I want to show some changes and some updates I did in the RV here. Still kind of a mess, but we're working through what we can. Well, we took out the bucket seat that was over here on the right side and put in a 3x6, basically a bed. This will work for us with everything. We have space underneath. We can place totes and strap them down or make some other type of restraint for it. Pretty much everything else is the same in here with the exception of some work on the electrical again, adding another battery. We're going to go with a 3-battery system, which I'll show later. And made a couple changes. Oh, ran into a problem. Something I didn't realize. On these Fords, well, a lot of dualies, when you put these chrome beauty rims in there, you seem to have a problem with restricting your access to valve stems. Needless to say, we can't air the inside dual without taking the outside dual off, so I'm going to remedy that with some valve stem extenders. Took the old seat bolts out. Underneath where I exposed the wood, something people should think about when they take stuff off. Get some kind of sealer. I don't know, you can't see it, but it's just Rust-Oleum leak seal. Spray a good coating of that on exposed wood, because the stuff underneath gets all the road grime and all that kind of wear and tear, and it'll rot the floor right out. Something else I did, which is kind of a smart idea, I added an overflow reservoir for the coolant. They typically, on these older vehicles, they don't put them on there. So what I did is I went and added one. I got to reroute the hose a little bit, but it'll give me an extra a couple of pints of coolant to store. And once I top off the radiator, anything extra will flow into the tank. I won't lose it. The factory way, it just went down the side here and just dumped on the ground. That's kind of a waste. That, and when you get running hot, you have nothing to draw back in, so you could be constantly adding coolant, and there may not be anything wrong with the vehicle, it just depends on how much load you put it on. So anyway, as I stated, we had some issues with the emissions. We did get our inspection. Took a little bit of doing. I discovered I do have one vacuum leak right there at the little regulator goes into the brake booster. They're about $6 at any auto parts store if they have them, so it's not too bad. Just a little update for getting into past the emissions. New cap rotor, new coil. I haven't put the new wires on, but we didn't need them, but I'm going to do it anyway. One trick I did, which we had a concern since the hydrocarbons were high, I zip tied back the choke, so it stayed open. Just with doing those few things and the tune-up on it, we took hydrocarbons from 1790 down to 410, which was still 110 over. The vacuum leak was not a problem with it, but ultimately it was the timing. This truck, unfortunately, the motor being old, they put a sticker on the main pulley on the engine, and it winds up falling off after a few years. So we didn't have any way to have timing marks, and there was no notch in the flywheel, so we had to kind of do it, I guess you'd say, by sight. I did notice another problem today running through the black tank. It's small. It is very small. We can't even put in, we got 20 gallons of fresh water capacity in here, but our wonderful black tank that sits right here takes gray and blank both in the same tank, and it's only about 15 gallons. So we kind of hit our limits quick. So the solution for that, I thought, was going to be one of these portable outside tanks. Until I realized just about everybody who's selling these damn things, there's something wrong with them. So I'm going to go see about getting a brand new one, smaller. Instead of this 30 gallon, maybe go with a 15 or 20, 25. People don't pay attention. When they lay these tanks down, they store them. They seem to have, in sheds and stuff, they may not stand them upright because they don't want the cap to leak. Well, I don't know if you can see it, but right in the back there, somebody stepped on the handle and it cracked the tank. There's a hole right there. You see it? There is no fixing that. This is junk. Fortunately for me, I didn't have to pay a lot for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and strip the metal off it, scrap it, and get rid of it. This is the size totes I'm planning for under the bed. Nice 2-lid totes. And I'll have room to put some other things under there. We picked up a nice little tabletop Coleman. It has a burner and a barbecue on it. It's a little combo. Runs on the little 1-pound bottles. So I figure we'll have a place to store that underneath that bed. And that just about doubled our storage space. So it was a pretty good idea to put in. Went through, checked the AC a little better today. Thing runs great. Cycles, does everything it should. I know the videos have been pretty dirty in here with stuff sitting around. Not dirty, but just junk everywhere. But I'll run through here real quick. You can see actually what it looks like a little better. You know, you got the little booth over here. Underneath is your power panel. Of course, there's this little bench seat there. Give you a little table, and you've already seen the stove and sink. But my ultimate goal with this bed, there's a second sheet of plywood sitting up there. I kept the surplus. We're going to make it so when you flip the couch down, we have two 3x6 they're like egg crate foam that's in a nice case, almost like a pillowcase, zip shut. We can actually get a third one and make this whole section across here a bed, solid bed. So I'm going to be making eventually the second piece of plywood. We're going to go across the front here, and I'm going to make it so I have a slide out that actually hides underneath the lip here and comes out, and you can extend it out, slide the next piece of plywood over onto it, and we'll actually overlap that couch's cushion, and you'll have basically, I say a queen size bed right there, and then you have a little bit of slough on the side. But for the most part, I want a decent sleeping area, so I think that's going to work good. Well, otherwise, other than that, we're pretty much getting ready to go. We need to figure out what we're doing about a refrigerator. I'm kind of not thinking about putting anything more in there than using the fridge for storage at the moment, but we'll see what happens. I'll try to make another video here in a couple of days.